Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again. If it is your first time here, my name is Gigo and today we are back at Brekusu, where we are visiting one of our subscribers, a client site. I won't use a subscriber or a client. The owner of this land is more like a father figure to me, so I will use father, as the owner of this project because I've learned a lot from this man. He has been an inspiration. I had the time to have the opportunity to spend some time with him in Accra and also visiting other projects around the city or the country. And we shared a lot, right? We shared a lot together. So I will use this land, the location, to I would say today's video will be an educational video, right? And also a motivational video, right? It's going to be more about motivational video. So stay tuned for what is coming. But before we continue, I know someone would like to know where we are. As I said before, this is Brikusu, which is in the eastern region, but the view you see down below is Greater Accra, right? So you are just at the border between Greater Accra and eastern region. Your view, with this view you are getting 180 degrees view, all the way from Shah Hills to yeah, that's the Shah Hills views, all the way to Wager, right? All the way to Wager, and just at the front of this land is Abokobi, right? So if you're on this land, you are seeing Pantine, Medina, and all of Accra. You can see the whole of Accra, and you should see the night view from this place. It's so amazing, right? So the owner has 6 plots, which is 1.5 acre, that he wants to develop a villa, right? Mini villa estate with a clubhouse. We're talking about projections with swimming pool hanging. And some of the villas will be suspending, right? Especially the clubhouse, which is going to be more of an entertainment area. Those houses will be suspending in the air because if you are driving from Accra, right, all the way from Pantan, you can see this land on the mountain, right? So we are trying to put out something that is going to project that you have a view, right, all the way from Accra, to this location, right? So let's get back to the purpose for today's video. I had a chance to visit this site around about 4 times in a month, so it was like every week I was coming to this site, right? And I got some motivation and some thoughts that I would like to share with you guys. So that's why I'm using this views to explain what I have been thinking. So let's take a budget of 100,000 US dollars, right? 100,000 US dollars to build a 3 bedroom house, right? So we're going to look at two different structures, right? So we are going to take a location in Accra where you can build a 3 bedroom house, which is going to be a story building. So you have the ground floor and then the first floor. So let's say maybe the land costs you around 10,000 to 20,000 US dollars, right? I'm talking about, not so far from the capital, right? Some of the towns around Greater Accra region. We're talking about Dowenya, Pram Pram, and also, not so far from Accra, right? So, you can get a land easy going for 10,000 to 20,000 in that location to build a house that will, a story building, a 3 bedroom house that will cost you 90,000 to 80,000, making a total of 100,000, right? So let's put that in mind, right? And also looking at a location which is on the hills or a mountain like this or by the seaside, which you pay the land about 30,000 to 50,000 for just the land, right? To have a view like this, either a sea view or a city view, which is like a mountain view, because you don't get this in the inner lands, which is the Greater Accra. So it will cost you more with the land, right? But then you are building just a single structure, simple single structure that will cost you between 70,000 to 50,000 US dollars, right? So our budget is to spend 100,000 to build a 3-bedroom house. We can build a 3-bedroom house, ground floor style, or a 3-bedroom house, a story building. But the thing is that if you are building on a hill or on a mountain like this, you necessarily don't need a story building to have the views that you want, because you can see this. You are on the land, right? We are not even on the foundation yet, but look at the views that we get, right? And you still have a 3-bedroom house, right? Looking at you staying in Accra, which is like the capital, and then you have a story building, but same 3-bedroom house with all block works around you. We all know, how close the houses are and all have you, right? So this is what I've been thinking about. I'm like, this is something that most people, when they want to build a house, they don't actually think about, right? Location plays a key role in construction. The reason of building your dream house also plays a key role in construction, right? So before you think of building something in Ghana, the first question to ask is, what do you want to build, right? Are you building a house for your family, right? Are you building a house for your family to raise a family, or you are building an investment? Just look at the views from here, right? So if you are thinking about investment, sometimes you can keep the structure simple. Keep the structure simple and look at locations that can earn you money, right? Like I said, it's going to cost you roughly about 30,000 to 50,000 to buy a land somewhere at this location, right? If you want a view like at the Accra view, it may cost you more, right? But if you just want to keep it simple, live in the town, the land will go for between 10,000 to 20,000. But at the end, you may end up having the same 3-bedroom house, which is going to cost you 100,000 to build. I'm talking about keeping it simple with the finishes and everything, not too many styles, right? But when you are looking at the rentals, let's say you want to build for investment to rent. When it comes to raising family, the best choice will be building in a town, right? Because your kids needs to go to school and the school has to be close and all of that. So, I mean, at that with that, reason, I think that building in the city is the best for you. But if you are looking at investment, right, you want to do something different, you want to change the narrative, I think it is time for us to look, by the beach side. We have to look, on the mountain, and we have to pay for the land, right? You pay for the land and then you keep the structure simple, because you don't need to go higher to get the views that you want. You already have the views here. All you need is to just get a good foundation, and then you are good to go, right? So this is something that I have been looking at. You can put up a high ceiling 3-bedroom house here, put it for Airbnb for rent, and you can ask for more than what maybe you will get in the capital city of Accra. And this is more like a holiday vacation vibe, right? From the drive from here to the Accra is not that far. You can see Accra from here, right? So the drive from here to Accra, it would take you around, maybe, let me say, an hour. If I say Accra, Pantine is also in Greater Accra region. So then I'm talking about like 15-minute drive from here to Accra then, right? But I'm talking about let me say the airport, it will take you like 45 minutes. So investors, young guys coming up, I see everybody trying to do the same thing, building in the city, for rentals and everything. I'm not saying it is a bad thing, but if you are looking of making more profits, making more money, get out of Accra, right? We are not in Greater Accra, but we have the view of the whole of Greater Accra. We are just 45 minutes from Greater Accra. And the roads are very good roads. If you are driving from here to Accra. I mean, it is just the mountain. I mean, that is not untarred, right? But if you get to Ibri, the roads are very good roads. You'll be in Accra in no time, right? As I said, we are just behind the Ashasi University, and you will see a drive, right, when we are going back. Get away from Accra, spend some few, dollars, buy lands that, I mean, is a bit expensive, that will give you experience, right? And when I talk about experience, I'm talking about having a lake view, having a sea view, having a city view, like building on the hill, building on a mountain. These are the properties, right? These are the investment that will fetch you, faster money. Because I mean, what people are doing now in the city, I think that kind of development or that kind of investment is getting choked now, right? And there are things happening in Ghana actually, right? I mean, this will be the next subject that, for those that have given up on Ghana, right? Thinking, you can't trust people in Ghana. I mean, I'm not saying, Ghanaians are honest people, but you don't have to let certain things pull you back. I've spoken to some people in Europe that have, I mean, they've given up on Ghana, right? They don't want to do anything in Ghana. They have the money to invest, but they don't want to come and do anything because based on their experience they've had. But I would say that Ghana is changing. There are things happening, right? There are things that you wouldn't even see on social media, right? There are things that are happening that, I mean, when I went to see it myself, I was like, when did this happen? Nobody's talking about it, right? I mean, it will take time for it to pop up online. Then everybody wants to kind of like jump on the wagon, but then it may be too late for you. You might pay more to get the same thing done, right? So don't give up on Ghana, right? If you want to invest, I think Ghana is the right place. Africa is the right place for you to invest. Just do your search. Just talk to the right people. Don't just talk to one group, two groups. Talk to three or four, right? Know who you are working with, people that understand your dream, and work with those people. Don't rush. Don't rush the process, right? If it will take you 3 years, 4 years to do a research to get to work with the right team, take the time to do it, right? There are amazing things happening in Ghana. Trust me, there are amazing things happening in Ghana. So if you can afford, I mean, this is just an example that I've given you. With $100,000 building a 3-bedroom house, you choose where to put it, right? And that is based on what kind of investment you are looking at or what kind of settlement are you looking at. I am a young guy, so when I am building, I'm not thinking about family now. I'm thinking about investment. And investment structures can turn into family uh, establishments in the future. And I believe that my investment will pay off quickly for me to build a simple structure for my family. We all need one bedroom to live in, right? We need just one bed. You can have 5 bedrooms, but you need just one bed, right? So this is the back of the structure, which is towards Ibri, right? This is the drive through, right? I mean, I didn't plan this video, so my presentation might be a little bit of rough, but the only thing that I just want you to know is that positioning or location is very important if you want to build investment, right? There are so many lands available across the country with amazing views. All you need is a concept, right? This is someone building. I don't know if it is a hostel, it is a hotel, it is apartment. I don't know, but just check out the views that this person is getting. If it is a hotel, how much do you think people will be paying to have such experience here? Right. So investment is, I mean, at this point, it is all about giving experience to your client. It is not just putting up a structure where people sleep and wake up the next day. It's all about experience, and that is what I will be sharing with you coming in my latest episode. I mean, some of this land, they are expensive in Greater Accra, around Accra. A brew is expensive, but we're also not looking at the Volta region, right? Trust me, I mean, watch out for my Volta region video also as well, where you also get some amazing views. And I mean, those lands are even way cheaper. But that's another topic for another day. So then I think this brings us to the end of today's episode. I really do appreciate your time spent here on the channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in my next episode. Let's get to it.